Auburn is finally a Nike school, but what does it mean for recruiting? Welcome on into the Auburn Express, powered by the War Report. I am here sitting in for Mike G today, but no worries. We still have the man, Kyle Rush, in here talking a little Auburn football. Well, Auburn all sports, but
Everything.
we're talking about uniforms, and Nike is finally landed in the plane, something that has been highly anticipated for a lot of people. Kyle, man, how are you feeling today? How do you feel like it's going right now for Auburn sports in this Nike situation?
Man, it feels great. I remember back when I was like 10 or 11 years old, Nike came out with these hats, and like the button snapback on the back was a Nike swoosh. And I was like, man, an Auburn hat with that Nike swoosh button back. I don't know why I thought that was so cool. I was like, we need one of those. And then obviously Auburn was not a Nike school. And now you're finally can kind of jump into that conversation of being a Nike school, and the anticipation's been great, and it's finally here. But guess what? We still got to wait like a month until.
Okay, so let's talk about that for just a second, because
it's so ugly.
I'm confused by that, right? Like, why was that not made more clear at the onset of all of this? Like that, okay, yes, officially it's happening here, but you won't be able to get your gear until I think that rollout's a little clumsy. Don't you feel it's a little clumsy?
Sure. And then like Kenyatta Watson like posted a bunch of his stuff, and then like they made him take it down or something like that. It wasn't supposed to be out yet. The whole thing, as big as Nike is, and like they check all the boxes, it feels like this whole thing wasn't planned. Like we just signed the deal like 2 weeks ago. Right. Like this was signed over a year ago. Yeah, they're having to wait till the 25th, and then the 25th of July, and then the team store is going to have like this grand ribbon cutting thing. But again, it's not until the 25th after you tease us on the 1st. I don't know. It's weird, but
yeah,
who cares though? It's going to be here, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about this. So outside of the rollout being a little clumsy, there has been kind of a debate about how much they like the first thing that you really have seen from Auburn in Nike gear, and that is the polos, the sideline polos with the blue, the navy, and the black as the staple there for the colors. They are Auburn logo, of course, but in the Nike logo. But what do you feel about the black and blue?
So here's the thing. It's funny because I've gotten feedback today from some people that are the same people that wanted to go back to like the 2004 taped up black cleats. And it's like, okay, black wasn't in our color scheme then.
Right.
So what's really the difference? I think there's a faction of Auburn fans that just want to hate on anything that happens to Auburn, no matter what.
Right.
It's different. Yeah. It's like the dark charcoal gray / black, whatever you want to look at. I think it looks good. I saw my man Cam Coleman had the top button buttoned up in his picture too. So that obviously fired me up. But I mean, I saw it's not the only polo. I've seen the white with the gray. I saw one of the coaches this morning at breakfast at Byron's wearing the white stuff. Like, I think it looks good. I like it. To me, again, I think there's just a faction of people that just want to just hate no matter what on anything that happens with Auburn. But yeah, I mean, we love that 2004 team in 2005 when they were spatted up with that black ankle tape and black cleats. I mean, maybe we'll go back to that. I don't know.
Okay, so that segues me very nicely into you've got some things already happening that are a little uncomfortable for people around the color scheme of the Nike stuff. Kyle Rush, for or against alternate uniform specifically for football, because other sports have embraced the alternate stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like basketball will go out there with the all orange uniform situation. Baseball will give you the baby blue unis or an orange uniform,
Or
right?
the camo, those digital camo hats or something
Right.
like that every now and
Yeah.
then.
How are you feeling about the prospect of potentially having alternate uniforms out here for Auburn football?
I I don't know about you, but I'm like the least sentimental Auburn fan ever. Like I could not care less what the uniform looks like, what colors you go to. I kind of would like to see. I saw some combos where it was like all navy, just
Listen,
navy head to
we
toe.
talked about this Sunday, and
Yeah.
I have to listen. If they go with a midnight blue helmet with the power stripe down the middle, the navy jerseys with the power stripes on the shoulder, the navy pants with the power stripes on the sides, and some navy cleats
Yeah.
with
That
like
looks
maybe like a navy face mask on it, even with like a visor on that. I'm sorry,
I
that's
love
fire, bro.
for
That's
sure.
fire to
For
me.
sure. And that's where I was kind of going. Like whatever the kids like, whatever the recruits like, whatever the players like that make them want to come to Auburn, I'm all in. Hey, I like the white helmet, orange jersey, white pants. And hey,
Mm,
throw an orange face mask on there. Like
mm.
I've seen some mix ups with that look really good. Kind of look like that. I think Miami's uniforms look pretty clean when they go with the orange jersey and they got the white helmets. I mean, it's the same thing. Just swap out the green with the navy. I think Auburn would look pretty clean that way. Nike's been known to do stuff like that. You can kind of get in the mix with. I don't think they really do those pro combats anymore, where they go super zany. But
Yeah. Which
mix it up a little bit.
I'm not a fan of the super zany. Like somebody brought
Yeah,
up maybe like a powder blue situation. Since there is an alternate Auburn blue out there,
yeah.
would you be in favor of that? For like I've seen, I like the baseball situation where they have that. I don't know if I want to see that in a football uniform though. Like, could it be a part of it somewhere? But I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to see no powder blue
You,
jersey. I don't know.
that's to see you got colors to work with right now. Like we
Right.
just talked about navy. Like we could throw in navy in there.
Yeah.
You got orange, like that you don't utilize a lot on the uniforms. Don't disgrace the all whites though.
Yeah.
When we're on the road, it's got to be stormtrooper head to toe. Head to toe. That's the best uniform in college football. But at home, mix it up a little bit, man. Have some fun with it. If Nike's willing to do it, do it.
Yeah. That was the slogan. Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it, man. I am the least sentimental, like traditional stuff like that. That just ain't me. I'm trying to win right now. We don't have to do it the way we did it back in the 80s. Let's get it done right now. And if that takes mixing the colors up a little bit to get some more kids here, get some more kids excited about the potential of coming here, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that the Nike thing is a good thing for Auburn. I've been a fan of it. The athletes themselves are excited about this because I think that they are more apt to just wear Nike stuff in general, right? And so now when they're rocking, listen, this is a big thing for people who are kind of into fashion stuff, particularly if you're into athletic wear. Like you don't really want to wear Under Armour sweatpants around campus with your Nike shoes. Like you really want to wear Nikes. Like now your Nike stuff matches, right? And you're going to get the colorway. So while we're on that, like so you're a golf guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't, but like, is there anything that you're from like a shoe standpoint that you're like, yo, like now that Auburn and the Nike colorways, you've seen some stuff come out. Is there like a shoe that you're like, I really am wanting to get this in a Nike colorway?
So I saw some of it. I saw that Take Flight video, and I don't see. Here's the deal: I'm just now getting into my midlife crisis, so like I'm just now getting into wearing Jordans and stuff like that. But there was a shoe that they had on that Take Flight video, and they were like all white with the orange swoosh. I don't know, is that the Cortez? What are those called? I don't exactly know. Or Air Force Ones. I don't know.
I have to see it to know exactly which one.
I don't know, but I haven't seen any like particular Auburn centric shoes drop yet. But I mean, I'm definitely going to be in the mix of whether I got to customize them or what. I'm hoping some Nike shoes drop because I'm really getting into I'm really getting into those from a shoe aspect.
So I definitely want the trainers, the bow trainers that are in the Nike colors, because I haven't had those in a while, and I think that that's like as an automatic, somebody's got to have that going, right?
Sure.
And then you gotta give me some Barclays too, man. I think the Nike Barclays old school. I'm not really a fan of that shoe in particular, but just for the nostalgia of it, I think I want to go cop some of those just so I can say that I have that. But those are the two things I think I'm most anticipating. And then I would love to see Nike sign one of the professional athletes that have gone like to the NBA right now. Like, I think Jabari's with Adidas right now, isn't he?
I
I'm
don't
actually
know.
not sure whether or not does Jabari have. He don't think he has a sneaker deal. He just
He
signed a
may
new
not.
contract. Maybe it's time for him to get a deal, and they can get a Nike deal going, and you can see some Jabari Smith situations going out there. But I
It's
think
Adidas. He's with Adidas right now.
I thought maybe Adidas was where he signed. So like, but I want to see one of those guys that make it over there to the league. I don't like Janai. I don't think he has enough high profile situation to be able to get into that for his own sneaker deal, unless he just goes crazy out there on the court. But I
Bro,
want
I
to
don't
see
think
an
I could
Auburn
do these
athlete there.
Barclays. I don't think I could.
Again, I don't.
I don't
The
think I could rock those.
the
I'm looking at
Barclays
them right
aren't one
now.
of those things that I think are like the most fire fashion situation. But they were good hoop shoes back in the day. So like, I think I would be okay with that. But
Now the bow cross trainers, I think I haven't figured out if I can pull off like the mid or the high top. I'm
Mhm.
still a low guy right now. I don't
Yeah,
know if
no.
I can go all. I don't know if I can start getting up above that ankle. I might not be able to pull that off. But the cool thing is all the, like you just said, the lifestyle aspect of it is
Yeah.
huge, because
Absolutely.
people will wear this stuff outside of just their uniforms. And I think that's what's bigger than the bigger picture than anything. I did have some Under Armour stuff. I got a question for you. I know you guys have connections with players and stuff like that, just like we do. You know, some coaches. If one of them calls you and says, I'm unloading all my Under Armour gear, what are you doing? You got it. Show up and it's yours. I'm unloading all my Under
I
Armour
take
gear.
it. I mean, I take it. You know what I'm saying? Some free gear to be able to rock. Because so here's the thing. The players and the coaches actually got exclusive
Some
drops
cool
that
stuff.
never came. And I was like, oh, that's fire. Where is that?
Yeah.
And you can't even buy it anywhere.
Uh-uh.
So if they're giving up that kind of stuff, then I'm all, hey, listen, I'll come pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Let me just tell me where I need to meet you. We'll make that happen. As a golf guy, because this is a thing people don't talk about a lot. A lot
Yeah.
of the other sports, Nike golf stuff is pretty good, right?
It's hit or miss. The shoes are starting to become big, and they do have some big professional contracts.
Right.
I mean, like Scotty Scheffler is the #1 golfer in the world, so like they do have some big names. But to me, their golf stuff, I think the golf team probably got the short end of the stick out of everybody.
Really?
Their golf stuff leaves a little bit.
So is Under Armour better with the golf stuff?
No, they really were kind of screwed on all ends there.
Okay, I was about to say, because I don't think Under Armour was really
No.
making it a
Maybe
situation either,
they
so.
took a little bit of a step up, but Adidas probably would have been a really good golf for them. But I mean, there's just so many golf brands that just aren't Under Armour or Nike that are they're more golf centric brands. But
For sure.
I think everybody else leveled up big time.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I know the basketball team is definitely excited about it.
For sure.
Baseball is absolutely excited
No
about
more
this.
foot injuries.
Oh my God, bro. Like the baseball team, if you're talking about a step up.
Baseball and softball, it was like foot injury after foot injury. And I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know the mechanics of what goes on with the golf. I mean, with the baseball or softball cleat, but for whatever reason, they would hurt their foot and it would stay hurt. And all of them were blaming the cleats. So
the gloves were not very good. I've heard that firsthand from both like football athletes and from baseball athletes. Like they just didn't do a very good job of being like multi-use or multi-wear situations. You really couldn't get it out of there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this produces for Auburn here coming into the future. Also hoping that it pays dividends. You mentioned this in the recruiting aspects. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break and get back into this conversation about Nike now being officially a part of the Auburn situation. This edition of the War Report is brought to you by the good folks over at the Rogue Shop. If you have sleep stress, anxiety, pain relief needs, make sure you head to America's #1 online dispensary, which is the Rogue Shop. You can use code report to get 15% off of their products over there. And you make sure the Rogue Report sent you over there by using that code. And listen, man, it's really good product. So looking forward to hearing some testimonials from you guys about our guy Richard over there at the Rogue Shop. Let's get back into this conversation. I am live with my guy, Kyle Rush, from over at the Barn, Auburn, top button podcast out there doing his thing. You are a guy that keeps up with the rumblings of what these recruits want. We just talked about it. We talk about players and talk to players and coaches. How much impact do you think stuff like this has on recruiting?
Man, recruiting has become so much more of a what's the number going to be? You know what I mean? Than anything. So if anything, I think from a rev share standpoint, you would think this would be beneficial because I do think Auburn's going to sell a lot more merchandise. I think you can sell a lot more licensed merchandise. And then Nike likes to throw their weight around in the recruiting game too, because if they're going to jump on with a school, they're going to want, some marquee athletes there that if they're going to tie their name to it, they're going to spend a ton of money. They're trying to sell more apparel. So they'll help. They'll be able to help out there too. And I just think, I think from a basketball standpoint, it could not be better. Like I think Under Armour probably cost Auburn when all things were equal, probably cost Auburn more than anything, just because kids don't grow up, being Under Armour kids. Like they're signing shoe deals. Like everybody saw Air. Like we know how that whole deal worked out, where they get on them young, and then when they get older and they get ready to go to college, they're Nike guys. So I think basketball, it helps big. Baseball, I don't know that it makes a huge difference. I think football, it could probably help. Again, I think it would probably help with the rev share more than anything, just being able to drive more merchandise sales. And I think we talked about it earlier. It's just another Under Armour time had passed Under Armour. Like Auburn was, Auburn and Notre Dame, I guess, were two of the bigger schools.
I guess now South Carolina and Notre Dame are the only ones that are really big programs that are still with them.
Exactly. And I just don't, I think that had just, Under Armour had really sort of, they've come and gone. So Nike is just like the natural move here, and it can only help. I definitely don't see it hurting anything.
Yes. What have you been getting? So, for those of you unaware, Charlie Fry out there, legend of the message boards, now lead moderator for the folks over at the Barn. What has been the excitement over on the message boards about this?
So everybody's obviously really excited about the merch, bummed out that we have to wait another 24 days. But overall, I think, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like almost unanimous. There's still there's some people that are more nostalgic than me. We were with Under Armour a long time, man.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
People had kind of grown accustomed to it. I remember when we were transitioning to Under Armour and we were still wearing the Russell, but we'd have like the Under Armour sleeves and the Under Armour visors and things like that. And you kind of had that anticipation. It just kind of became synonymous with Auburn for a while. So there's a faction, I'm sure, that are still, sentimental about Under Armour, but I think most everybody's excited and looking forward to maybe some of the bumps you can see, especially on the basketball side, and just all the different things that are, the balls that are used, the courts, the stuff that you'll see on the field, the stuff you'll see on the court, the stuff you'll see in the ads, and then all of the different licensed apparel when it drops. I think for the most part, it's a pretty overwhelmingly supportive and excited. I think everybody's just kind of bummed that, hey, I can't get my hands on it yet.
Yeah. I mean, again, that rollout situation has looked very clumsy. And I have to assume though that when I'm figuring like stuff is going to sell out really quickly. Like it's going to go from available to not available very quickly because of a lot of the excitement that's out there with a lot of the fan base around this stuff. One of the things I actually am looking forward to, though he has been very active with the program on the sidelines, it doesn't feel like as much since the Gus Malzahn years, but like the connection again with a guy like Bo Jackson, because he is such a brand ambassador for them. And there are quite a few brand ambassadors who are Auburn alums in the sports realm that are tied to Nike. I'm looking forward to seeing those folks being brought back to the forefront again for Auburn.
I mean, is there anything better than the Bo Knows campaigns?
Ah,
Like, think of all the possibilities there. I mean, that just seems natural to bring that back. I'm with you. It just seems like in this whole shifting era of collegiate athletics and then where Auburn's going in the future, it just seems natural to be moving in this Nike direction as well. And then all like you said, all the possibilities out there. It's hard to really point to a negative. Maybe we're a small fish in a big pond now. Like
yeah.
we're not the big guy
I think that would be
around.
the only thing that I would point to and say that's maybe a bad thing about this. When you're with Under Armour, you were one of their premier brands. But having said that, you were one of the premier brands, but you didn't feel like they were giving you premier products. Like it just kind of felt like, well, you're the only folks that we have out here. So yes, we're going to give you attention. I mean, I point to the little stuff like this, man. I watched um a video, I think it was, I can't remember whether it was NFL or NBA guys, where they were getting brand boxes sent,
Oh man, I know.
and like the guys in the locker room were clowning the dude because
They
the
wouldn't even
box
open
looked.
their box. They're
Yeah, it
like,
was
"Nah,
like, come
I'll
on,
wait till I get home to open it."
yeah,
Yeah,
man. Like, nah, we gotta make sure our guys are out here representing properly and feeling proud that they've got Auburn gear coming to them in their professional spaces that is rivals what everybody else is getting.
I just talked about this earlier today. I remember that it was Darius Slayton. He got
Okay.
his Under Armour box, and everybody in the locker room was like making fun of him, like with the
Yeah.
stuff that he was pulling out, and like that's just embarrassing. Like
Yeah.
like you said, you want your former guys, swagged up. You want them ready to go, fired up. Like that needs to be an anticipation thing. Like I'm pumped to get my
I'm hoping that
former.
that's a part of this rollout, is that they
Yeah,
send some of these boxes to these athletes, and now they can
exactly.
have this like, I want to see a flood of guys opening their Nike Auburn apparel boxes to say, "Hey, welcome to the Nike family." From Auburn, boom, we're hitting them off with this kind of thing. Is that something that Nike is controlling, or is that an Auburn thing? Is Auburn going to be the person who has to facilitate that?
I think it's probably going to be a little bit of both, but Nike's going to have a huge hand in it. Like
Yeah,
I think Under Armour had a huge hand in, hey, this is what we'll give you
right.
for your former players. So obviously Nike's got a lot more money in the bank, a lot more money to spend. So, and that's the ones that you saw the players brag on. Like you
Yeah,
saw, your Alabama guys and others, they're fired up when they get their box because it's got all that awesome Nike gear in it. I think Auburn could be, hopefully have something similar. Like you said, the unboxing. I have a buddy who's on staff, and I was like, man, I want a video. I need the live video when you
yeah.
get your swag. Yeah, I got to see the unboxing. So it's fun, man, and I'm excited to see what comes of it. It's hard to point to something negative to come out of this. It just seems it's a new day, and it just seems like the perfect time to roll with Nike.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to seeing what comes on the field as well, because like I said, we talked about some of the deficiencies that happened with some of the gear that was out there. Particularly, man, golly, we said this already, but like I am vividly having pictures of Ike Irish slipping multiple times out there in the field. And I am like, yo, come on. Like, is he clumsy, or are these cleats trash? Like, what are we doing out here right now, man?
Exactly, man. You don't have to stop there. You don't have to stop at football. I mean, baseball. You can go to all the sports. It just seems like anytime, and it may not even been the shoes, but anytime there was something that you could point to, you were always going to try to blame it on
Yeah.
blame it on Under Armour. So now, hopefully, you got that fixed.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it again. I am disappointed that today I'm not talking about a purchase that I made of Nike gear and what my first Nike Auburn gear brand apparel purchase was going to be, but got to wait a few more days for that. But let's get out of here. Before we do, of course, I have to give you some time to tell the people how they can keep up with the things that you have going on over at the barn.
Yeah, super easy. TheBarnAuburn.com. That's where you get all the content, message board chatter, recruiting, team news, whatever, and then just the community in and of itself. You've been on there. You've helped us out with some play-by-play in some scrimmage games and behind the scenes stuff. Like it's just a fun community on top of everything else. So jump on in there, and then anywhere you get a podcast, you can find us, the Barn Podcast Network.
Yep, absolutely. And before you get out of here, do us a favor. Go ahead and hit that super thanks. Send a couple of dollars our way. We appreciate that. And you need to subscribe to the channel so that you can make sure that you know what's going on and get those notifications on so that you are aware every time that we are going live. You can follow us on social media at The War Report, X and Instagram, TW Report on TikTok. We are signing off, but until the next time, and as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.